So today we have an interesting geometrical problem. The diagram is on the screen with all the given details. Now the question over here is to find the ratio of A, B and C. So this is Anmol Mishra and now let us see the solution. How can we solve this problem? So first of all, according to the given data, these two angles are equal. So let that be equals to a variable theta. Okay. Now the second thing given over here is that this pink triangle is an equilateral triangle. So in an equilateral triangle, all the three sides are equal and also the three interior angles are equal, and that is having a value 60 degree. Okay. Now take this blue triangle and the straight base. So we can see that this angle over here is 60 degree, this angle is theta. Therefore by exterior angle property, this angle over there would have a value 60 minus theta. Okay. Now over here we have the green triangle. This line is again a straight line. The value of this particular angle is 60 degree. Therefore by the exterior angle property, this angle over there would have a value 60 minus theta. Okay. So here in the diagram we have marked all the required angles. Now let us mark the side lengths. So I will take the base of this blue triangle as a variable x. The base of the pink triangle I will take it as variable y, and the base of the green triangle as a variable z. Okay. Now we can see that the pink triangle is an equilateral triangle. We have taken one of its side equals to y, hence all the three sides should have a value y. Now to move further in the solution, I will label this diagram. So the point P, Q, R, S and the point T. Okay. Now take the triangle PQR. So the triangle PQR, and in this triangle we can see that the value of angle P is 60 minus theta and the value of angle Q is equals to theta. Okay. Now take the triangle PST that is present over there. In this particular triangle, the value of angle P is theta and the value of angle T is 60 minus theta. So if we just rearrange the labeling of the second triangle as the triangle TPS. So this also describes the same green triangle, and now we can see that the value of angle T was 60 minus theta and the value of angle P is equals to theta. So we can see that in the triangle PQR and in the triangle TPS, two of the angles are equal. Hence these two triangles are similar by angle-angle property, and the labeling is also according to the correspondence. So now we have the triangle PQR similar to the triangle TPS by the angle-angle property. Therefore the sides would be equal in proportion. So PQ upon TP, this thing would be equals to PR upon TS. This thing would be equals to QR upon PS. Okay. So here we have got the ratio. Now we can see that in the diagram we have taken some of this length as variable. Like the length of ST we have taken as Z, the length of SP is Y. So let us fill that thing over here. So the first thing is PQ upon TP. So as per the diagram, the length of PQ is nothing, so let it be PQ. The length of TP is also nothing, so let it be TP. This thing is equals to PR upon TS. So as per the diagram, PR is the side length of this pink triangle, hence it would have a value Y upon TS. So according to the diagram, the value of TS is the base of this green triangle, hence would have a value Z equals to QR upon PS. QR is the base of this blue triangle, therefore value is equals to X upon PS. So PS is the side length of this pink triangle, hence it would have a value Y. So here we have this ratio, and in this we'll simply compare these two. So what we will finally get is Y square is equals to X times Z. Keep this equation as it is and let this be equation number 1. Okay. So here we have got the first important equation, and to get this thing we utilized two things. The first thing is that these two angles were equal, and the second thing that the pink triangle is an equilateral triangle. Okay. Now to get the second important equation, I will simply use this particular fact that the area of A plus B is equals to C. Now to visualize this thing, I will just draw the same diagram over here, and in this I will draw the same line segments as in the original diagram. Okay. Now the area of this triangle is equals to A, the area of this triangle is equals to B, and the area of this triangle is equals to C. The base of this is Z, the base of this is Y, and the base of this is equals to X. Okay. Now what I will do is I will simply draw a perpendicular from this top point to the base of this biggest triangle. Okay. And let the length of this line segment be equals to H. Okay. Now look carefully in this triangle. The height of this triangle is H, base is equals to Y. Therefore, the area of that triangle that has already been taken as B would be equals to half times h times y. Okay. Now look carefully in this particular triangle. It is an obtuse angle triangle because this angle is 120 degree as this was 60. Remember that this triangle was an equilateral triangle. Okay. So now this is an obtuse angle triangle, hence the height of this triangle will lie outside the diagram, and we know the formula how to derive the area for an obtuse angle triangle. Take the obtuse angle triangle, extend the base as a straight line, draw a perpendicular from its top vertex. This becomes the height and whatever the base is there. Half times height, the base becomes the area. This is the area for an obtuse angle triangle. So here in this diagram we have the height and this line is a straight line, so ultimately the base is extended. Hence the area of that triangle that has been taken as C would be equals to half the height h and the base that is z. So here we have got the area of the second triangle, and similarly we can see that the first triangle is also an obtuse angle triangle because this angle is 120 degree as this was 60 degree. So here also the height is h and the base is extended as a straight line. Therefore the area of this particular triangle that has been taken as capital A would be equals to half times h times x. Okay. So here we have got the value of A, B and C. Now a given data was given that A plus B is equals to C. So replacing A, B and C with this value that we have just got, we will get half times z. Now half times h will cancel out from both of the side. So what we will finally get is x plus y equals to z, and this is the second important equation. Okay. So here we have got both of the important equations. Now let us try to simplify that thing further. So in the second equation we can see that we have the value of z, that is x plus y. So this value of z I will put in this equation. So the second equation will look like y square equals to x multiplied with x plus y, and this thing will finally give me x square plus xy minus y square equals to 0. So here we have the quadratic equation. I will take x as the variable and y as the constant one. So the final value of x would be equals to square root of 5 minus 1 divided by 2, and this all multiplied with y. This is the value of x. Now if I put this value of x in this equation, I can get the value of z, and that would be equals to y multiplied with square root of 5 plus 1 divided by 2. Okay. So here we have the value of z in terms of y. Here we have the value of x in terms of y. Okay. Now let us move on to the final step. So finally it has been asked to find the value of A is to B is to C. So the value of A, that is the area, we have got over here, that is half multiplied with h multiplied with x. Now we have just got the value of x in terms of y. So we'll put that value over here. So that is root 5 minus 1 divided by 2 multiplied with y. Okay. Divided by the value of b. So the value of b is half times h times y. So half h into y as it is, and this thing is to the value of c. So the value of c we have got is half times h times z. So the value of z in terms of y is root 5 plus 1 upon 2 multiplied with y. Okay. So as these three things were in ratio, we can factor out only those terms which are present in all of these three. So we can see half, 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 h, 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 y, y, y. Okay. Now what I will do is I will simply multiply 2 and divide 2 over here, means in the area of b. And why that is necessary? So we can simply factor out this 2. So what we finally get is A is to B is to C is equals to square root of 5 minus 1 is to 2 is to square root of 5 plus 1. And that's the answer that we were looking for. So this is my way to solve this particular question. If you have any other method other than this, or else if you have any other question that you think I should try, you can do comment below. And if it's hard to comment, you can email me, or else you can send it to me on my Instagram. The link is in the description.